Now we're working. Is that better? We're good. Hello everybody. Holy potatoes, look at you guys in here already. Langston Mandela, how are you doing? Welcome on in. Good to see you in here. Servers, how are you doing? Nerdstoke, hello. No, getting dibs right after the bot. How are you guys doing tonight? We're playing a little risky here. We don't know. The clouds are, I got different forecasts all over the place. And the weather isn't looking too bad right now. Yes, thank you, Langston Mandela. Thank you very much for the follow. Hyperwork, good to see you on in here. How's it going? Mirrored Cat, if I missed you, hello again. I've already started imaging. I have thrown the scope to point at the Horsehead Nebula because we have a short time with Orion tonight. It's a little bit of, it's a fancy ass background somehow. It's very cozy in here. Doing alright, got a meeting in 12 minutes, but we'll be back. Alright, awesome. We have an image coming up in about 4 minutes. We'll see how that turns out there. Kevlar, how are you? It looks like we're fairly clear. Like I said, we're gonna chance it. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Tom. I am the Astro Canuck, and tonight we are taking live images of the night sky, sharing them with you guys in color as quickly as possible, because we always have to combat the clouds here in the east of England. So this is my telescope in my back garden. This is the simulated night sky view, and this is where we're going to get our upcoming images. So the scope works. It works pretty well in the cold. There's what do we say? What's our weather today? I think we're about -5 degrees right now, so it's not too bad. Last night we kind of got caught out in the snow. I am Canadian. I am Canadian born and bred. I have been living in the UK for the past 10 years now, so I have chosen a really odd hobby lifestyle to follow up with in the land of perpetual cloud coverage. But I do enjoy astronomy. I do. Southern Ontario, awesome. Kind of the area of my old stomping grounds. But yeah, good to see you in here. I do enjoy hanging out in your stream there as well, listening to some ambient, chilled music. So I don't know if is the bot working? Yes, it is. It seems to be. Here we go. You guys are new to the channel. What we do here is we take live images of space. This is the telescope. Let's have a look at it there. We got some light cloud coverage. It's not going to be too bad. I'm going to try to go after a lot of bright targets so that we can get some decent images coming through. The Horsehead Nebula is a little faint, but we're gonna go for it. We'll see how it's going to come out. Within a foot. What's this? Again, so soon? I know, right? I'm shocked myself. Wrong button. Whoops. -33 degrees Celsius. Holy potatoes. That's bananas. Fargo, forsaken by good weather. Well, we are, I try to keep as warm as possible here. We have our telescope outside is being controlled by the ASI Air, a Raspberry Pi controlled computer by ZWO, and I'm using it with my laptop with the BlueStacks emulator. And we are 25 seconds away. I'm not too sure how this image is going to turn out. We are looking at the Horsehead Nebula. Let me get to the proper mode here. The Horsehead Nebula is in the constellation of Orion. And it is this area that we're looking at right here. And all right, images come through. Let's have a look at it. Let's see what we can see there. Kenny, hello, Kenny. How you doing tonight? Good to see you on it. Good to see you on in here. Yeah, we're also a little early. Usually, I don't start streaming until a little later, but you know, the cloud coverage is probably really going to roll in really thick around probably 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30 my time. So I figured I'd try to squeeze in a bit of a cheeky stream and get a look at the night sky with you guys. Juan, hello again. Good to see you back here. All right. G4, how are you? What mic am I using? Does it sound terrible? It sounds far away. I am using the Kinect mic at the moment. Phil's Pig, hello, how are you? Yeah, I'm still haven't really looked into why the other microphone is working. I'm thinking I'm going to have to, I don't know why the other mic doesn't work. The lav mic is not responding. Prinzikowski, ahoy! How are you doing? I was going to say usually start in the middle of my lunch break. It's only 11 here. Maybe you are on your lunch break and you're not aware of it. Let's see. All right, how's that? Does that sound any better there? A little less. Yes. Do I study astronomy in the scientific way with mathematics and experiments? I don't, in that sense. I just like to gather the information of what it is that we're looking at out here. So we're shooting through clouds with the Horsehead Nebula. Let's see if I can make it a little easier to see here. This one's tough. Actually, you know what's really funny? It's a hilarious story. I didn't even turn on the cooler on the camera. So we're kind of dealing with ambient temperature on here. Alright, so it's not the best. However, we're still seeing the Horsehead Nebula. It's heavy in hydrogen alpha. So we're getting that red behind there. This is a broadband filter, so we're not seeing exactly, we're not getting everything. We also have a nice big donut here. Back of the mirror. I'm going to try to get it off, but so we don't have this donut that we're staring down the barrel here. But we'll give it a go. We'll see how it looks. But yes, the Horsehead Nebula is one of those objects I've always tried to get a good image of it, but it's not always the easiest. Predominantly hydrogen alpha filter. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, it's a little bit of a tough one tonight. Bubbaroo, how you doing there, dude? Welcome on into the observatory. Glad to have you in here with us. So we're looking at the Horsehead Nebula. It is also known as Barnard 33, a small dark nebula silhouetted against the glow of the emission nebula IC 434. Only by chance does this nebula resemble the head of a horse, but its coincidental appearance has led to it becoming one of the most photographed objects in the sky. Misfit Act, how the heck are you doing there, bud? Doing well, doing really well. We are looking at the Horsehead Nebula right now. We are hoping that the clouds are going to stay away for at least a couple hours. You know, there are some. So yeah, this Juan, this is our telescope we have in the back garden. It is the 8-inch Ritchie Craig telescope, and on the back of it is a ZWO ASI 533. You can see we got some light cloud coverage tonight, but you know, it's it looks like it might clear up in about half an hour for a couple hours. So that's what I said. I'm going to take a chance on it tonight and see what we can see. Now, while we're on the Horsehead Nebula, I'm going to see if we can quickly jump over to the Orion Nebula. Because that is a nice bright target there. M42. There you are. So yeah, good to have you guys on in here tonight. I know it's a like I said before, it's a bit of an early start, but gotta make the jump on our targets while we can. All right, it's not a big jump over to the Orion Nebula. Just a few degrees, I would say, like southeast by our orientation. But I know we're also going to be fighting with any clouds, and if my neighbors are running their heating, then it's going to be a little more difficult. But yeah, all right, cool. There, perfect. Let's adjust that. Boom! The Orion Nebula. Yes! Didn't expect to see you again until Saturday, to be honest. I didn't expect to be on here until Saturday either, so it's a nice surprise for everybody. And also, come on, the Orion Nebula. I love this target. And that's the thing, Orion, it's so bright. It is one of the brightest nebulae that you can see with the naked eye. And this was 5 seconds, and we're seeing, we have some, I mean, it's a fantastic view already. I haven't even touched the histogram. Now we can try to bring out some more. And this is why when you are taking an image of Orion, so yeah, we have the core, but you can start to see that there is some of these, like the molecular clouds that are they're being excited by the star formation in the center. That is really faint compared to how bright this core is. So if you are shooting Orion, you want to do some really short exposures, do your long exposures, and maybe a couple lengths in between, and that way you are creating a high dynamic range, and you're going to get all those levels of detail in the nebula. So let's see, we have a lost star. That's fine. Scorpidillion, welcome on into the observatory. Thank you so much for the follow. How you doing tonight? Hello, hello. All right, let's pick a little bit of a brighter star. It's going to guide on there. Does DSS let you use light frames that have different exposure times? I would do that with, I would fix that up in doing it in like Photoshop there. Doing good, just chilling and lurking. Awesome, no worries. Glad to have you on here with us tonight. We are currently looking at the Orion Nebula. I'm not going to do a 600-second exposure. Let's just do 30 seconds. That's what's so fantastic. Old balls. Hey, Pops. How you doing? It's great to have clear skies, eh? Yes, it is. We're dealing with them as best as we can. We have some wispy clouds going through. But yeah, we'll deal with it as it comes. I'm going to try to pick as bright of a target as possible so that we're able to get some interesting images coming through tonight. We had some really cool galaxies that we saw last night, and we didn't get the chance for Orion, so I figured we'll take the time to get some more detail here. There you go. With 30 seconds, we're starting to see some more detail coming through there. We don't need to do guiding. The guiding is all right tonight. But there you go. As soon as you do a longer exposure, yes, that central area starts to brighten up a lot more. But you are able to see more of the surrounding area of the nebula. And that's what's so fantastic about Orion. It's nice and bright when you are looking at when you are looking at Orion's belt. You can see the Orion Nebula. Astro Beard, how are you doing? How's it going tonight, dude? So yeah, when you are looking at the Orion Nebula, you see those 3 stars of Orion, Alnitak, Alnilam, Mintaka. That little kind of faint smudgy down there, that's your Orion Nebula that you can see with the naked eye. It's not too far away, about 1,400 light years. It is a stellar nursery, so these stars are young and hot, and they're in your area tonight. And they are causing all of this lovely, lovely, soft, and kind of pillowy looking nebulae. You just woke up. Well, glad to have you on in here. Good to see you in here with us tonight. And let's see, let's go a little longer. Let's go 3 minutes. No. Yeah, let's go 3 minutes on here. The Sol Sika. That universe looks flat. Well, this is a planetary. This is not planetary. My apologies. This is a stellar nursery. Stars are being born in here, and because everything is so far away, we don't really have a view to be able to see the depth of everything out there. Because everything is just so far away, it does look very flat. It's not until you can get a 3D modeling of the object using spectroscopy to gauge the distance of all the stars that you can start to build a 3D map. NASA does have a cool 3D visualization of the Orion Nebula. So that is one to kind of check out there. I'll see if I have the link and I can drop that in maybe the Discord perhaps. Mr. Milton, hello from Bub's stream. Hey, hello. Welcome on in. Thank you very much for the follow as well. Good to see you on in here. Well, hello to you on Bubbaroo's stream. Good to have you guys on in here tonight. Like I said, I don't know how long the stream is going to be. We are at the mercy of the clouds right now. You shoot remotely? I am shooting from my back garden. This is the telescope that I have in the back garden here. I am controlling it with the ASI Air. I'll leave my coffee over there. I guess technically it's kind of remote. In fact, I'm not standing right next to it with the hand controller. But it is out here. It's the Skywatcher EQ6R Pro, and down there, that little flashing light, that is the ASI Air that I have connected via the Ethernet. Usually, it's the allure of it is that you can have it connected from Wi-Fi with your tablet or your phone, and you're kind of free to roam around as far as that signal is going to reach. However, my Wi-Fi on this unit has failed, so I just have it by the Ethernet connection, and yeah, it works out pretty well. If anything, it's a little more responsive with the Ethernet connection, and I have a little less troubles and no real big issues with connection there. What a nerd! Well, actually, I am a bit of a nerd. All right, our shot. We got 10 seconds coming in on here. Well, thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Good to have you on in here. Decided to meet you through Electrical Longboard. So good to see some other people kind of cropping up every now and then, having a peek in on the stream. Oh, that's not what we want. There we go. A little more detail coming through there. Oh, we did not have a bet. We got photobombed by a satellite. Usually when we're doing some long exposures, we do want to try to put up maybe a quick poll, sometimes wondering, are we going to get a satellite going through? And this kind of seems to be in the path of many satellites. Let's try to file that one under Musk. Under F for Musk. There you go. So it was 3 minutes we had this exposure for, and it's kind of getting difficult to resolve those 5 stars in the center there, but we are still getting some decent views coming through there. But yeah, that's the core. That is the trapezium. So those stars that are in the middle there, they're just a few light years. There's a few light years, maybe 1.5 light years separates each of them there. So they are tightly connected. Let's brighten that up a little more. Yeah, sure, we'll blow out the core, but again, while you do blow out that core, there's so much more detail surrounding the nebula. Very cool to see how smooth this all works. It's not too, there are times when there are gremlins, and then there are other times when it's absolutely smooth. I gotta stop doing that. It's ridiculous. And this is one of the nights where things are working out really well. We have the camera is cooled down to -10 degrees Celsius. It doesn't need to work very hard because we're already at -3 degrees, feeling like -5, I think. So the cooler the temperature is for doing long exposures, the better your signal is going to be. There isn't going to be that much interference. Like I'll zoom into like a tiny spot here and really stretch this so you can start to see. You see how it's still nice and bright there, but that thermal noise, all that the digital noise that's kind of coming through, it's when you do like a long exposure with the camera, with the DSLR, or even like your mobile phone, that sensor starts to heat up and you're going to get a lot more noise. The cooler you can keep that, the smoother everything is going to look. So that when you stack your images together, you can average out that noise. You maintain your no, don't want to do that. You maintain all that detail, but yeah, there's so much more to see in this target there. And I could sit on Orion like the whole night. It's absolutely wonderful to look at. And one of the things that we have done in the past, and I'm going to save this image. We always keep as many of these images of Orion as possible because it's beautiful. It's lovely to look at. I will make an effort tomorrow night. We'll see how tomorrow night goes. If I do a stream or not. If it's clear, yes, I will be streaming. If not, I'll see, maybe wait till Saturday and try to organize the Discord channel as well. Is that line the tether from the space elevator? It's a little crack in the frame. We didn't get all the images on the TV screens together properly, so that's what's showing up there. A bit of a boo-boo. All right, we got that saved. While we're on this target, let's do what we usually do. Let's do our 10-minute exposure on here. Yes, that core is going to be pretty much blown out, but there's going to be so much more detail that we're going to see around here. It's the interlacing. It's showing. We're running a 1080i, not 1080p. Oh no. Being exposed. So yeah, I had also had plans on doing a few not upgrades, but just adding a few more channel point rewards on the stream. And that was kind of a bit of the grand plan tonight, and the weather started improving. I'm like, oh, all right, well, we'll do that later. We'll do that on the weekend, maybe. But I do like to have, try to have some fun ideas, some nerdy little things going on the channel. But while we are waiting for our image of the Orion Nebula to finish up there, that's what we usually do. Usually the targets that we're shooting are, they're fairly faint, and it's not very often that we're going to have a really clean shot of the Orion Nebula due to trees, a neighbor's house, all things that are very, very difficult to knock down with nothing more than a butter knife. So it's taking the opportunity to get these shots. And I think what we'll do after the Orion Nebula, we'll maybe jump over to maybe the M78 or M71, the Friendly Ghost Nebula. Where are we at? M78, a nice bright reflection nebula, which we haven't really shot before, and mainly because we also had a narrowband filter on the camera. I'm using a broadband filter tonight, and depending on the way how things go in the next couple of weeks, we'll see if we are going to switch up and get a proper kind of broadband filter, because at this point now we are mainly looking out into interstellar space. The Milky Way core is going out and behind the house, so there aren't a lot of targets that are going to be available, and shooting galaxies with a broadband filter is much more beneficial because you are going to see more stars, more details. When you shoot a galaxy with a narrowband filter, it's still cool. It's still not a bad thing to look at, but you don't see as much detail in the structure of the galaxy. But you do start to get more of the nebulae within another galaxy. So this is one of our earlier shots of M33, the Triangulum galaxy, and this is with our narrowband filter. So you don't see a lot of the stars, but it's more these pink and red areas are nebula, exactly the same stellar nurseries what we're looking at with the Orion Nebula right now. I usually use my Optolong L Pro for live stuff sometimes, the L Enhance, if I know I'm going only for nebula. And I'm probably looking at the L Pro or an L Pro Max. Unless the L Pro is the exact same thing as like the SkyTech or this the one from was from Altair Astro. If it's the same thing, then which one am I looking at here? We want filters. Now, if it's the same thing as the Ioptron, then that's fine. It is this one here, because I was kind of having an eye on. So if it's like the same transmission as as the Ioptron, then I'll just see for whoever has in stock. Is this one actually in stock? It looks like it is. Yes, that was one I had my eye on there. Because the filter I'm using right now, it doesn't have the it really just kind of goes to the 450 to 530 nanometers. Everything else in between is cut off, and then you got the 650 to, or sorry, the 640 to 700 nanometers, and then everything else is cut out there. So yeah, but with the narrowband filter that I do use is is actually this one here, the tri-band filter. Oh, of course they don't have it. There we go. So this is the 1.25 inch filter, but this is the transmission lines that we get on this filter. This is a smaller version there. Whoops, my apologies. So that's the filter that I'm using for our narrowband shots. Did I get the space toad? I did. Actually, can't rotate this, can I? But it's upside down. But that is the the red space toad. Do I still have the? Yes, I do. There we go. Yo, I need to work on my resume, but I'll be lurking. No worries. No worries. I'm glad to have you on in here. Feel free to, like I said, you guys are lurking. You guys are participating. It's all good. Just to have you guys in here with me is much appreciated. So yeah, thank you for the lurk. And yeah, we'll be on at least, I'm hoping, for another couple hours. So we'll be around. Glad to have you on in here. All right. How is our image going right now? How much time we got left? All right, we still have about 2.5 minutes to go there. It's not too bad. Time is going all right here. So yeah, that's the. I got two mice here. So with this filter, is what we see with the Triangulum Galaxy there. So I will look to get that. One of a more of a 2-inch broadband filter, because the filter I am using right now is the Astronomic CLS clip filter. And that just doesn't. So you can just see how it does. It's not the whole. The whole thing doesn't have coverage of the sensor, and it is meant for a DSLR, so it sits right in front of the sensor. Whereas on my filter, on my imaging train, the filter sits a little farther away, so you can really see that vignetting kind of coming through there. So that way, with we get a proper 2-inch filter in that position, then we can cut down on the vignetting, we can get better light transmission all the way through to the sensor, and we just get largely better images there. So pretty much that's what kind of this indicator for our February goal is. If we can have that reach for cumulative 70 subscribers there, is that we'll pretty much be able to pay for a fair chunk of the filter there. And that's that's what I do with any kind of the funding that comes in from the channel. The 1 1/4 works fine with 533. Would that be just kind of putting it right in front of the sensor there? You can screw it in right up at the front there. What I'm aiming to kind of get is a filter wheel set up as well, so that we will we'll be able to change filters on the fly. So if we are shooting emission nebulae, or if we are shooting reflection nebula, that we are going to be able to just change up those targets and not have to be kind of forced on certain targets and sacrificing the image quality. And as far as having 2-inch filter altogether, is that it's still forward planning, because I do want to get other cameras involved. They're going to have larger sensors, and I don't want to have to deal with any potential vignetting showing up on them. All right, so our 10-minute image, or 10-minute exposure of the Orion Nebula is complete. And yeah, our core is pretty much completely blown out there. Let's see if we back that off all the way. Yeah, you see that at 10 minutes, that's just way too long for the core. However, the bonus is that we're getting all of this other glorious detail in and around the surrounding nebula. Let's see how much we can start to pull out there. You use the filter wheel with the 1600 and the 533, no problem. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Been looking at the 8-slot ZWO wheel, but I'm really happy with the Star Zona filter drawer. Yeah, I have the that Altair Astro filter drawer. That would depend on how fast your scope is. Faster, the larger filter needed. I have plans. I have ideas of what I want to do for the future of the stream and all the equipment there. And yeah, there are a varied amount of scopes I do want to be able to have available, so that we can have different options there. Some would be, have the idea of being permanently mounted on a pier. Some can be a little more portable, so if there are some remote imaging opportunities, and yeah, we'll kind of take that into account there. So yeah, 10 minutes. Yes, the core is blown out, but it's the finer details around the nebulosity, which I have not really captured before. There was another image we did about 5 minutes, and we got a little bit of this area, but starting to see more of that nebulosity kind of coming through there. And again, yeah, that core is blown out, but that's why you are taking your shorter exposures, and you are trying to, you got to create that high dynamic range for your images there. Hopefully your 8-inch newt at f3.9 comes in. Within a foot. Thank you. Holy potatoes. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you. 5 gifted subs to the channel. There you go. Our Astrobot, our controller here, is able to use his emotes. Kappa votes. Marcy Popsis. Ziada, and to Servers, who is just kind of really popped in today. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Very generous of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mildly speechless. There you go. The Astro Canuck bot now has its its emotes back. I appreciate that. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it here. Appreciate you coming on in. Appreciate that immensely for the gifted subs. I enjoy sharing the night sky with you guys, and if nobody else was here, I'd be mildly lonely and just kind of rambling on to myself. But this is all. What I like to do here is to show you guys what's out there, what you really may not be able to see otherwise if you're in maybe a higher light polluted area, or you just may not have access to a large telescope to get these views. So yeah, this is what I enjoy doing, and I'm really glad that it was clear enough tonight to be able to do this and share this with you guys. Last night, as I wrapped up the stream, it started snowing so much faster than I thought it was going to. We dropped a raid to our friend Ben Naduva, and I excused myself from his channel for a second there, and it was snowing incredibly hard out there. A little bit of snow kind of got in the tube there, because there's no glass in front of the Ritchie Chrétien scope. That primary mirror is right in the back, and it's just open air in between there. So we got a little bit of snow kind of sitting in the baffles, but otherwise there wasn't any wasn't any big issue with everything there. We got everything kind of shook out and got rid of the snow. And because it's cold, everything just kind of fluffed out. There was no water forming in there, so that's all right. It boarded 4, but been cloudy forever. I feel like we have been cloudy forever as well. It's just so difficult to be able to get any kind of schedule going for imaging, because there's times when if we have like a few days worth of imaging available, at least then there's some minor tweaks I can do with the system and try to work out some other little gremlins that are cropping up, and also just doing a little bit of cable management and a little more fine tuning. But when it is so sporadic with the clear nights, sometimes I'll deal with some things and just get going, and we'll do as much imaging as possible there. All this time I spent looking at your Ritchie-Chrétien photon kind of made me want one. I like it. I think it's fantastic. The Ritchie-Chrétien photons. Words are hard. Whose mode is that? We already checked that one out last night. That is true. Words can be very hard. All right, how's guiding? Guiding is working. It's looking really good. Kilowatt. Last night was supposed to be clear for a few hours. Got the scope and camera. See, words are hard. Scope and camera acclimated. Clouds never left and got worse. Yeah, it can be a crapshoot sometimes. Other times when you have resigned yourself to the fact that the weather's going to be terrible, and you peek outside a couple hours later, and it's nice and clear, and it's been clear for like that whole night, and it's like, well, why didn't I get set up? That's where the real frustration comes in. When I said, that's fine, we'll pack it in for the night, and do something else, watch a movie or play a game or something like that, and when you could have been imaging. And then there are times when you get everything set up because it looks nice, and then everything just rolls in. All right, but while we have Orion here, I want to do the little EAA on this target. So we got that. That is saved. We got that in there. That's 10 minutes on the Orion Nebula. I like that shot. Take a screenshot, save that on there. Yes, and those of you who are just coming on in, thank you very much for joining in on the stream. Welcome on into us. Welcome on into us. That make words. Okay, words are incredibly hard. I swear I've only been drinking coffee and some water. We're looking at the Orion Nebula right now. Let's move the mouse out of the way there. That was our 10-minute shot of this stellar nursery. And what we're going to do, we're going to take this was a 10-minute shot. I'm going to take a live look at Orion, because that is also really, really cool. Let's start off with half a second here. There we go. There's half a second. This is essentially live video right now. We're looking at the core of the Orion Nebula. This is that trapezium cluster that I was talking about, which is very notorious for ruining a lot of images and just kind of just blowing out and being way too bright there. Yeah, this is live. This is about as live as we're going to get on this target right now. The previous image we were looking at, that was a 10-minute single exposure. And yeah, I've only kind of started trying this out with the this electronic assisted astronomy. So yeah, all that movement, that is due in part to the telescope doing some adjustments as well, because we do have some clouds rolling through. We'll see if we can brighten that up a bit there. Yeah, histogram's going a little nuts. So yeah, this is you can't do this with every target. Well, at least not with every camera. But this is, I'm taking half a second exposures on the target here. So this is a live nebula. We are looking at the core of the Orion Nebula. This is the trapezium cluster that nice bright area in the middle there. So this is 1,400 light years away that I'm sharing with you guys right now, as quickly as we can. Now, if let's see, we go up to maybe 1 second exposures, and we start to see more showing up. Let's go. 2 seconds is still, let's call it like, poor quality CCD video, or closed circuit. Closed circuit television. There we go. It blows me away every time I'm looking at it. So yeah, these aren't long exposures we're doing right now. These are 2 second shots. We can probably go in a little closer as well. This whole function of the unit is for focusing your star and making sure that you have a nice sharp shot there. But you see, that's a previous star that we were looking at there to focus. Yes, within a foot, gifted had 5 gifted subs to the channel, and yeah, you got one on the excitement there. So glad to have you on in. Good to see you got a sub badge now. There we go. So what do we have on the trapezium? This is a tight, open cluster of stars that lies in the very heart of the Great Orion Nebula. It is one of the best known multiple stars in the entire galaxy. There's quite a bit of a write-up on this thing here. But it's also, we're looking at this live. We got some time here before it goes behind the trees. So the trapezium was discovered by Galileo in February of 1617, who sketched 3 of the stars, A, C, and D, but somehow missed the surrounding nebulosity. The 4th component, B, was later identified by several observers in the 1670s, and several more components were discovered by 1888. Now, the Orion Nebula is an immense, complex cloud of gas and dust about 1,350 light years away and 20 light years across. This is a blister on the face of the Great Orion Molecular Cloud, which hosts several other sites of active star formation. The trapezium is a relatively young star cluster that is formed directly out of the Orion Nebula. Its 5 brightest hot stars are situated in front of it and have masses in order of 10 to 30 times of the Sun. They produce most of the ultraviolet light that energizes the surrounding nebula and causes it to fluoresce. The trapezium cluster is estimated to be less than 100,000 years old. And I know that they are just within a few light years of each other around here. Rubik! Hello, how you doing? Good to see you on in here tonight. M42 will be my first target with a new larger quartz secondary, so I can compare it to a recent shot when I realized I needed a larger mirror after getting an APS-C size sensor. Well, I look forward to seeing what kind of damage you can do with that telescope when it comes in there. It's always exciting getting new kit, and it's hard. Like you were saying before last night, it's hard to get new kit because everybody's sold out of everything. And this is like, what we can do from our back gardens. We can look back in time. We can look at as this cluster was 1,300, 1,400 years ago. All right, we have some issues with the guide star. Star lost. Yeah, we've got some cloud coverage rolling through. I tried to pick a brighter star to focus on there. Oops. So we weren't losing any views there. But yeah, so to give you guys an idea quickly of what we're looking at right now. There's the Orion Nebula that we were just looking at. And, well, actually, this whole... Let's see, turn that. There we go. Just adjust the atmosphere on there. But it's this core that we're looking at of stars of the Orion Nebula. Sergio! In Stellarium, what's the key to make a zoom on a star? Don't have a mouse, only a pad. I don't know. Like just when you're selecting a star to kind of focus in on it. I am not sure. I'm just using the mouse wheel to if anybody has kind of used it with the iPad, open to information. So yeah, that is the area that we are on right now. That's this here. That is the core of Orion. These are 2-second exposures, and about as live and as detailed as we can get on this target here. You can drop it down to half a second. But we don't get as much detail there. Looking at the cluster. It's cool to see the movement, to know that this is a live image. And if you were to look at the Orion Nebula with a telescope with your own eyes, you're generally not going to see, our eyes are terrible to look at the night sky. So to use a digital camera, use an astronomy dedicated camera to get a live view of the Orion Nebula, then that's what we're going to do. We're going to see it in color. Reconnection. Okay, there we go. Weesh. Prutz, welcome on in. Good to see you in here. How you doing tonight? This is a live shot of the Orion Nebula. We got some clouds rolling through, so there's going to be some issues with some visibility. Fish and chips, hello, hello. Good to see you on in here. Let's make this look a little better. Let's make it look a little more interesting for you guys. Not so much stars. Let's get some nebulosity in here. Like I say, we got some clouds rolling through. But we are looking at the Orion Nebula. This is a live shot, not just a single exposure. We're looking at this as a rolling image of our closest nebula. Because we got some clear skies. You can see where more detail starts to come through there, but also the chance of my neighbors having their heating on is also going to impact things. Yeah, you can see that down just to the lower right, they got you got some exhaust coming out there. But yeah, we are taking advantage of the small amount of clear skies that we have. Moving into the core of the Orion Nebula. Which again, to me is, you have wobbling because of the heating. Yeah, the wobbling because of the heating. The guide star isn't, we got some wispy clouds overall as well. So yeah, so that is causing a bit of a problem, but I'm not about to knock on the door and tell them, hey, you mind freezing for a few hours? Because we're looking at some cool stuff over here. Yeah, it's come out really nice, and there's just also that kind of that idea of just how bright this stellar nursery actually is. That we're able to look at it with such a short amount of exposure time and get a pretty good view of this thing. Although we could also be running through the trees, and that's going to be a bit of a problem there. So yeah, nice fits of brightness within our shots there, but yeah, it's not always going to be fantastic. So I'm probably gonna have to move on to a new target. Yeah, it doesn't look like I have much out to the south at the moment. So we have our live shot of the Orion, of the core, the trapezium cluster in the middle of the Orion Nebula. When I do image stacking, I use Deep Sky Stacker, and then I'll finish everything off with Photoshop. I have used PixInsight in the past, but it's just I'd have to go back and relearn PixInsight to start using it again. But yeah, right now what we're using, this is just a live shot. There's no live stacking with the original ASI Air, which is a little unfortunate because I would like to try and do some live stacking. But also some people have said that the live stacking feature for the ASI Air Pro doesn't always work that well. It's not the greatest. But if others say it is, then we'll average out what everyone says. And I do want to probably, I don't know, I think about investing in the ASI Air Pro, but at the same time, everything else that we're doing here is working out pretty well. We're taking a live shot of a nebula. We've looked at planets. I think I have to move our targets here because we are kind of coming into the trees here. There we go. Never had good results personally with the live stack. I think you were mentioning that before when I was talking about doing the live stacking. It just wasn't as good as it could be. All right, we're going to reluctantly stop that exposure. We'll go out of focus mode and back into our preview. How's the guiding? Guiding is all over the place because every reason. Alright. We'll just get an idea of where let the scope know where it is. We'll do a quick plate solve and move over to another target, which hopefully is still within our view. It probably isn't. But let's have a look over there. Yeah, still not too bad. We're going to, let's go plate solve. We'll check out M78. We'll see if that's still within reach. Learning Deep Sky Stacker, but I think all my photos have too much noise. Could figure out why I couldn't shoot bulb until my own light bulb went off. I've had my camera set to silent shooting, which takes that away. Okay, so it was the settings you had to play with on the phone there, eh? Yeah, again, all little things that come about with technology that until you almost discover it almost on your own, you don't really know what to always look out for. I don't know if we're going to get a shot of this nebula. We'll see. It'll only go 30 seconds on a Sony Alpha. Interesting. Ben Naduva. Hello. How you doing, Ben? There you go. If you guys weren't here last night, we raided Ben at the end of the stream before all the snow fell into the telescope. If you weren't, check him out. He plays games. He does Lego builds. Unfiltered also, so we'll see what I get when I get another good night. Well, hopefully, you can get that all sorted out there and get some good images rolling through there. Always happy to check those out. It was an amazing stream. No worries for the raid. So I want to try to share as much of Twitch with everybody as possible, because we're all doing different things, and everybody's doing something that's it's really interesting to them, and hopefully more people are going to be receptive of those interests as well, and especially doing Lego builds is always interesting as well. But I've seen a lot of people streaming Little Nightmares too, and that game just looks absolutely gorgeous. Alright, that star, it's not the best, but it's brighter than the other one there. Let's see if how well we are on target here for this reflection nebula, and I think we're not too bad on that there. It looks like we have a tree in the way. This target might be out of view. That's fine. And lots of clouds. Yeah, you'd posted in the Discord, Celestron Evo 8, Sony A6300, and then running through the PC Edge. And we gotta see. Can we catch this airplane in time? Oh no, we need to get the plane going through the shot there. No. Alright. Actually, we have a lot. Oof. We have to probably go a little further north. Pitsy! Pitsy Row. Pitsy Roo? Hello, hello, hello. Would I say that the things have been better for astrophotography during the pandemic due to possibly less light and gas pollution? Yes. I would say that there's been a lot more of an interest in astrophotography. And yeah, it's been, even when we had the first kind of lockdown here in the UK, we had a nice stretch of weather. It did seem, I mean, there were less airplanes in the sky. So I think in that respect, that astrophotography has benefited greatly from the whole global situation at the moment. And it also kind of gave me the opportunity to start up this channel as well back in October, and get as much imaging time as possible there. And I am going to pick another target. I am in the UK. I'm in the east of England, and we kind of get weather from all fronts. And right now, a lot of the weather seems to be coming from the north. Usually, kind of looking out west is where we generally can gauge the sky conditions. But the past couple of nights, everything's been kind of coming from like northwest, and I don't really have a clear view out that way. So I am relying on on infrared cloud coverage reports just to see what we can get here. Dead cloudy up here in Sheffield. There was a couple of times when I saw some cloud coverage that was right over my town, and the rest of England was clear. And it was just, that was a big kick in the pants to see that forecast. And it was just like, why? You don't speak with a sophisticated accent, though. No, I'm Canadian, eh? I could mimic a bit of a posh accent if it doesn't make you feel better. That way, everything I say comes with a bit of je ne sais quoi. I could say something totally not even factual in the least a bit, and it could sound maybe plausible. But I won't do that. I'm going back to my Canadian voice. I was born in Toronto, and I've been living in the UK for the past 10 years now. Like I said, I've taken up a interesting hobby that is largely dependent on zero clouds. I'm in a cloudy area. Wait, how do you say a boot? About. About. Now I sound proper and expensive. Yes. Now we're going to be looking at another area of the night sky, possibly. I don't know. Let's see what's available, shall we? Okay, let's pick out a new target here. Something that's probably a little northwest, perhaps. Or do we have... Let's go back into preview mode. No, stars are lost. All right, let's have a look a little farther northwest at the moment. going to have to get away from some of these areas. What do we got? Let's go over to... Checking clear outside. I should have a 2-hour cloud-free window Sunday night. We know exactly how that's going to turn out. It's going to push back about a couple hours, and then everything is just going to close in on it, and there's no skies. In fact, right now, clear outside says I have quite a bit of cloud coverage. Oh, guiding is all over the place. All right, I got to get out of here. We got to pick a new area. Let's go straight up. What's near Capella? Well, we were shooting the we were looking at the the Flaming Star Nebula last night. Let's see if we have a shot at the tadpoles. NGC 1893. See if that is any better than what we have right now. Pardon me. Sorry. NGC 2174. That being the Horsehead Nebula. Give that one a go. Although it is still fairly close to where we're at. Let's have a look. NGC 2174. Also, this update to the ASI Air, they've changed the kind of the way everything is framed up there, which is annoying because I was shooting the Rosette last night, and what should have been centered on the central area of the nebula, I was fairly off from that there. I will say I cannot wait until summertime just for my Dumbbell Nebula. Love it. Want to try the Cat's Eye also. I do enjoy the Dumbbell Nebula as well. We did a 16-minute exposure on that one there a while back, and yeah, I was overjoyed with that. Actually, it is on my Instagram account, and I mean, for a 16-minute exposure, that turned out really, really well. Mr. Sly Panda. Ooh, what is this? This is a 8-inch telescope in my back garden. I am about 30 feet away from it at the moment. Sitting nice and warm in my kitchen studio. And we are going to take a look at, we are shooting images of the night sky. We are on we're looking for the Horsehead Nebula at the moment. Let's see. We need to get a guide star on here. It's not looking too bad. Let's do another exposure, see where we're at on this. We have shot the Horsehead Nebula before in narrowband, and now we're shooting in broadband. So let's see what we can get out of this target. And how is our frame on this? Are we where we want to be? Recognize a bit of that there. Have you caught a shooting star? I have in wide field images. We have had some satellites and airplanes come through our images every now and then. But when there are active meteor showers, I do tend to have a wide field camera set up while we are kind of doing deep sky objects, because the focal view that we have right now, this is at about 980 millimeters. So we are looking at objects that are very close range here. So while I get this, oh boy, we have like no guide stars available here. 4 seconds. Make it a little brighter. Kind of punch through there. 4 seconds doesn't really help either. Shotgun Steve! Just a quick howdy before I get the kids to bed. Hope all is well. All is pretty darn well. Good to see you in here. We are... I'm fighting the clouds. I think kind of pointing too far south right now isn't going to be the best option right now. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome on in. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. My name is Tom. I am the Astro Canuck. And Mr. Sly Panda, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on into the observatory. Glad to have you here with us. This is what we like to do on this channel. We take live images of space and share them with you guys as quickly as possible. And not just because we have to deal with a lot of the clouds, but it's interesting to look at areas of space that generally we're not able to see with the naked eye. You know, there's very few objects out there that are readily available for us. You know, the moon is nice and easy to see without any assistance, and you know, with some binoculars you can see some globular clusters, and you can see the Orion Nebula. But with a deep sky telescope, we can look at some areas of the night sky that are relatively off limits to our meat cameras, and we need some more digital assistance. So it is kind of looking like the weather is not cooperating at the moment. See, because I really can't get a guide star locked in. Yeah, we keep losing the stars. So I don't know how well. Let's have a look. Let me have a look at the forecast and see. That is not a promising forecast to look at. We'll see what we got here. See if the sky is going to improve. We'll be a little patient. And hopefully, sure, I'm not looking at the internet here. Let's see, what time is that? 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's going to clear up a little bit. Oh dear. The weather forecast looks like things are going to start to improve at like midnight. Yeah, it's a little long to be holding out there. Does the photo come out like this, or is there a lot of editing to be done? These, with the single exposures, you know, the images are going to come out a lot nicer when you take multiple exposures and you stack them up together. And what you kind of get rid of is all this noise in your image. So yeah, this is usually when you're going to take images of space, you want to do a much longer exposure because there is more detail to be captured in the camera. Well, the stars are nice and bright, but it's all this digital noise, this thermal noise that builds up in a long exposure, and when you stack them all together, you kind of average out all of that information there, and you're left with the signal for your image, and then that is what really comes through depending on what target you're shooting. We were just on the Orion Nebula earlier on. That's not the Orion Nebula. So this is an area that we shot a little earlier tonight, and something like this, it's a very, very bright stellar nursery. So it's not one of those dim objects that take a lot of integration time to build up there. So even something like this, you can kind of tweak it a little bit and kind of get some decent image coming through. Whereas other targets, you really need to take multiple, 5-minute exposures, 10-minute exposures, depending on like your whole system setup is going to kind of dictate your limitations of how long you can expose for. I generally am, when I'm shooting for a long exposure image, I'll go about maybe 5 minutes on an exposure. That way, if something like this, if a satellite rolls through your image, and if it's bright enough, it can really muck up the whole stack of images there and start to show through, and it doesn't look great. And if you're only losing a few minutes to throw out this exposure, it's not too bad. Some people will expose for up to an hour, or maybe even longer, depending on their system, and you're inviting so much more interference to kind of come through your image there. So yeah, that is the closest nebula, one of the closest nebulas to us that we can see easily with the naked eye. Do you think we or any life could survive if our system were going through this? If we were going through a nebula? It's more, this is like this molecular gas and dust that's being excited. These stars at the center here are fairly young. They're about maybe 100,000 years old. So they're just in their formative years. So everything that's kind of being lit up here in the certain wavelengths of light is it's not so much that this is an explosion, but it is like the stellar radiation coming off of these stars are exciting the gases in these areas. And while it does look dense, I mean, it looks dense because just, again, our perspective. If you were to kind of fly through a molecular cloud like this, it's so sparse, you probably wouldn't even know you're actually in a nebula. It's only because we're at these great distances that we can see just how much is around there. As far as I have heard, it's been speculated, are we within a nebula? And from what I've heard, it's no, because there are other ways to detect where we're at. But I will be getting the next version of Space Engine, so we can kind of do a little more virtual tours around the universe. Could it make things deorbit or contaminate the atmospheres? No, you're probably going to get I don't know the exact answer to that one. I'm not going to try to speculate on the exact answer, but it's like when we were looking at the Milky Way, our molecular dust that is just kind of blocking out the images there. So yeah, it's I would need to look into that a little further to have give you guys the correct answer on that there. I'd be most likely to incline that no, it wouldn't be a problem if we're kind of within a nebula. Also, it would be more, it's younger stars in the areas that really haven't even formed a kind of a protoplanetary system. All right, Kilowatt, you're going to head out, enjoy, and I'll catch you another time. No worries. Thank you very much for coming on in here. Appreciate you hanging out with us for a little bit here. Sorry, Astro really missed that comment there. Just got a chainsaw kit in the mail for my Alaskan mill. Kind of like a big boys Legos. Awesome. Awesome. That's true, getting things sent through the mail like that. Because a lot of them are going to want proof of age and everything, so Yeah, good on you for getting that coming through there. Could make... Oh, sorry, you already got that one. Deorbits or atmospheres. So you tweak your own telescopes, and you're also building your own chainsaw. That's pretty cool. Oh, well, hello there, Putzi. How you doing, dude? How's your... I saw your internet had some unfortunate issues. That sucks. Hopefully you got that get this sorted out. Yeah, trying to see what you can do to fix it. And what's this just kind of happened out of the blue, or it just seems like everybody like you don't even touch your computer, you don't touch anything, and stuff changes on you. Pardon me. It's like why you got to be that way out of the blue. I mean, even okay, the sound. Let me replay Mr. Sly Panda's Follow. Ooh, did that not come through? Did we hear that? Or did that not come through? No. Biscuit basket. All right, so that worked. My stream's buffering a lot. On your end? Seems to be all right here. You're going through some internet things as well? Fine on this end? All right, cool. Maybe it is, maybe it is your internet there. All right, well then I feel even worse with that the sound didn't occur with the gifted subs from within a foot. It's unfortunate there. We need sound to come through. Check my internet speed. It's gone to hell. Regular 500 megabits upload and download. So it's like what? Like you're in the you're at like 56K. You're at dial-up speeds now. 12 MB up and down. Is it something like within your area? Holy smokes! How are these clouds rolling in here? Oh, clouds. All right, I'm going to... You send an email through ham radio at like 300 baud. Seriously? Did you really? Or are you Well, hopefully that your ISP is just being a little annoying. And also if you can, get a hold of them and say, give me some money back for all this inconvenience. So you seriously, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that with, I guess, everything is a radio signal essentially. But that's kind of cool. Oxford! How you doing? Hello. How's it going tonight? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I never tried using Linux. I've always heard it's some people, the people who get it and really work with it, they love it. But I've never really tried Linux. As of midnight, it's a public holiday, so you're on a limited time to kind of get through to your ISP. Hello, Spaceberry. How's it going tonight? We are... Well, I thought we were going to have some more clear skies available. Maybe another hour or two, but the weather forecast keeps changing on us. When I camp in West Virginia, there's no service where we go for camping for weeks and send messages through a gateway in Nova Scotia. That's pretty cool. Oh, now my heating has come on. There we go, that should be better. Entropic Universe. Well, hello there. How are you doing? Welcome on into the observatory. Glad to have you here with us. We are trying to do some imaging tonight. However, the clouds have rolled in. I'm trying to be a little patient with things because the forecast is showing that it may be clearing up, and I'm actually going to park the telescope for now. Just put it back in home position so I'm not staring straight up into the sky at least. Because the forecast is showing that skies are going to clear up in, well, at least the forecast is going to show that. I don't know if it's actually going to chill out, but we'll see. We'll be a little patient here because having 2 nights in a row for imaging, that would be pretty darn cool. You know, at least we got a little bit of time with Orion. We weren't without images tonight, so we did get the Orion Nebula as we see over here. A mild photobomb from a satellite coming through for, this was a 3-minute exposure. Oops. That's fine, I'll wait. Let's give that a second there to refresh. We'll look back at some images that we've taken. There was our 10-minute exposure of the Orion Nebula, which we had some time with clear skies tonight. So, taking full advantage of it, looking at the one of the more interesting nebulae within our Milky Way. So at least there was nothing short of awesome. We did look at the core live as well. We did some little electronic assisted astronomy, and that's always something I want to try to do a little more on some of the brighter targets so that we can take get a good look at things. Because to look at a galaxy live, that'd be really cool. I want to try to look at M51, the Whirlpool galaxy, because that's nice and bright, so we can have a look at that. Andromeda, unfortunately, is kind of out towards the west and out wet from the western view. For me, we're looking to the east here, and behind the camera there are trees, and that just blocks the entire view to the west. So I have limited views. So when we have the opportunity to look at the Orion Nebula, we're going to take it as long as possible. That was kind of where we spent the majority of the stream, actually, for the first hour, really. I live in a very light polluted area, so this is a treat. Well, glad you kind of came in on the stream here. We whenever we do have clear skies, this is what I do. I got the telescope at the ready, and we can be imaging within about 25 minutes. As far as starting an impromptu stream, maybe 35 minutes. Take enough time to pop the kettle on and get a coffee going. But yes, I'm in the east of England, and I love sharing the night sky with you guys. And Orion is pretty much my favorite target because there is so much to see in this small area of the night sky. There's so much detail to be pulled out of here. And even at a 10-minute exposure, we've blown out the core of the trapezium. Well, there was a shot from last night. That was M106. What was really cool about shooting galaxies last night were we have our shots in the middle, we have our object of affection, but everything, all the little faint smudgies, those are galaxies that are many more millions of light years away. And we did have let me find it, the UFO galaxy. Yeah, that was this one here. What was really cool about this one is not so much that we have this galaxy here, but there are these other galaxies around, surrounding everything that's a little smudge, not a nice sharp point of light, is another galaxy. And the majority of these galaxies are over 1 billion light years away. And that's why I love this target so much. And I really want to go back on here. I want to be able to go back to this target and do a longer imaging session, because behind this area of this galaxy, there's another galaxy almost 4 billion light years away behind that. And I think with enough integration time, we can start to see just a little bit of that light kind of coming through there. Like I've shot with the California Nebula, where there is the nebula itself, which is about 1,400 light years away from us. But behind it is another galaxy, 210 million light years, which is kind of like easily missed if you're really not looking for it. So it's always those extra little things that we find in the images that are just incredibly interesting. And just trying to even trying to imagine, fathom these distances just blows my mind on a regular basis. And just even trying to, our nearest star is 4 light years away. Our fastest moving probe, our fastest man-made object out there, is barely left our solar system, and that was like what 40 years ago now, when Voyager 1 and 2 were launched back in it was longer than that, wasn't it? But still, they can travel for tens of thousands of years and like barely reach the Oort cloud. So we are limited by energy and time to kind of explore farther away from our solar system. I hope breakthrough star shot happens within my lifetime. I mean, anything remarkable occurring is September 77. All right. I think there's a chance to see something amazing happening with space flight, with space exploration. That we're in such a time of just increased knowledge and capabilities. Look at what SpaceX has been doing with reusing rockets. Reusing these boosters, saving tons of money but at the same time, it's also really, really cool to see those land. And yeah, to a degree, watching the SN8 and SN9 do their thing. Unfortunately, they both exploded, but to kind of see that level of engineering happen. You can use light sails to get to relativistic speeds. You can, however, if you are using a light sail, you're basically kind of combining the power of all the, let's say, the nuclear reactors in the United States and outputting power that is, years and years worth in a few minutes. You probably need about I was hearing you need about a 10-minute concentrated laser to be shooting at that at the light sail to bring it up to the speeds, and it really should only be weighing about as much as a paperclip. So if that the light sails can really really kind of improve on how their efficiency is, and that would be a fantastic bit of engineering to get things traveling much faster. Sorry, there was a follow while I was rambling on there. Zeke 808 or Zeke Bob. Never know how Twitch names go. Welcome on into the observatory. Thank you so much for the follow. I saw a headline somewhere that they found a cluster of small black holes. I remember hearing something similar to that as well, where there was they would find different clusters kind of dotted around the galaxy. Wait, grab for what? NGC 6397. Where's that at? Actually, let's see if we can look at it in Stellarium. That is largely in the southern hemisphere. Okay. Turn off the ground. Yeah, the Planetary Society is doing some great work, and yeah, I just love watching everything that they do for space travel and just in general for outreach for astronomy. Once you're in orbit, not in a planet. English plus Twitch names equal not good. Even if there's some capitalization, just to kind of break up the name, or you can get really clever like Oxford. Write it like that. Do you like to study planets? Yeah. Do I like to photograph them? Not so much. There's a different way of imaging planets than there is nebulae, and there's a different level of patience needed for processing planetary images. I've tried it once, not so much a fan, but I do enjoy just the general knowledge of the planets. And there's another, the BBC has their special, The Planets, that's on right now that you can watch on the BBC iPlayer. I'll be giving that another go around because that's also an interesting one to watch, and it's just easy listening to Brian Cox speak as well. Right, NGC 6397. I feel like there needs to be a bit of a voice change with this as well. Just to kind of spice it up a bit, right? More than just a shader filter. So within this star cluster then, or this globular cluster. Hello, Lux. Welcome in. How are you doing tonight? I was hoping to squeeze in a bit of a cheeky stream with some clear skies. However, that's kind of turning on us at the moment. We got some clouds rolling through. Your Orion Nebula session is tonight. We were on the Orion Nebula. We did not miss that opportunity. And I did think of you as this as this satellite rolled on through our image there, thinking, oh, we didn't put up a poll whether or not we get a satellite coming through there. That was a nice bright one too. Pete Payne. Hello. Hello, Pete. How you doing? But my collimation is trash, and I need to fix it. So lots of coma to be expected, but very nice nebulosity when I captured with 1 minute subs. And again, Orion is so bright. It's so nice to image there. That even if there is some issues, you know, the majesty of the Orion Nebula kind of takes over there. Yes, Pete, how are you doing tonight? How's it going? Welcome on in. We are attempting to do some live imaging. However, the clouds are thwarting us, which is changing the pace of the stream right now. The weather is possibly looking to clear up a little bit in our favor, but that may not be until almost midnight when that is going to start to improve. So I don't know if I would hold off on restarting at about 11. I don't know. We'll have to see. BRB, need a shower? No worries. It's all good. We will we'll stick around for a while. I'm just going to see what how the forecast is looking. It's actually going to largely improve, which, you know, it will. If I decide that we'll end things with the stream, we'll call it a night. That's when everything is going to clear up. Yeah, and it kind of looks like things are clearing up around 11 o'clock. That's a tough one. That's tough. I don't know, but do we take a break for a couple hours and maybe come back, see how the weather improves, or what? Not sure. It would give me an opportunity to eat, because we pretty much started this right after work finished. I got everything all set up outside there to be able to try and get some imaging going. Food is important, and I'm also debating, do I try to cook something or to see if there's a delivery? Well, I don't know. Alright, well, we kind of got a bit of a clear shot to the north here. Now, I'm assuming that we are looking directly at Polaris right now with the guide scope. Hello North. Come on back. And yeah, I think we are. We are on Polaris. There you go. For those who may be in the southern hemisphere, here is the North Star. Ta-da! Alright, see, the camera's still cooling, that's fine. Although the scope is tracking, so. It's funny, the guide scope can easily see Polaris. We're not really on target with that with the main camera. Nerdy. Did I read neener to those in the south? Because yes. All right, let's. Let's point up to the kind of northeast. See what we got. Let's see, NGC 2403. Do we have a shot of you? Fair chance. Nope, nothing in here to annotate at the moment. All right, let's see if we have this this galaxy here, 2403. Oh, that's not the right. That could be it. Let's head over to. Let's go 2403. The software I'm using, this is the ZWO ASI Air, and this is their program. Sorry, part of the Raspberry Pi control system. I am using. All my cameras are ZWO products, and it's it's a fairly good system. It works out all right there. They've vastly improved the whole system. Otherwise, because before there were some fairly significant problems that were occurring, where scopes weren't operating correctly. True Vision, hello. How are you? Clear skies tonight? Kind of. Sync out of range. Dr. Cart Awful?
Yeah, what's up, Doc?
Well, go on into the observatory. Thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing tonight? Is it Dr. Cart Awful? We got our first shot at the Milky Way core this week. Even if it is an hour and a half window, I'm still going to attempt it. Go for it. I said it's always it can be a bit of a gamble when we're doing astrophotography, and you want to capture as much opportunity as possible. NGC 2403. So it looks like a fairly bright galaxy there. And let's make sure that everybody is moving where they should. See if we're able to kind of punch through the clouds here. And just see, is it possible? Do we have any kind of shot? Because we got like a thin layer of clouds. Usually, I mean, shooting it in color with the security camera, shooting it in color mode, you can definitely tell when there are clear skies, as opposed to shooting in the infrared. And that way, it's not exactly we're seeing more of the scope. All right. Well, apparently we got a good shot of our target. We'll see. Do we have any real guide stars to work with here? Not really. Oh, we got a satellite rolling through there. There you go. We'll catch those. That's good. Alright, so those are 4-second exposures to try to get enough of a bright star rolling through there. I don't know if this is going to be too far. Let's try on that. Let's see if that's going to work at all. I am looking at a galaxy, which is NGC 2403. And this is in the constellation of Camelopardalis, and it's apparently one of the best galaxies for a small telescope. It is about 10 million light years away, so it's not that, universally, it's not that far away from us. Let's see, that should be it right in the center here. But we got a nice thin layer of clouds hanging above us right now, so that is going to be interfering on the image a little bit there. And yeah, I think it'd be all right. It's not too bad. We got a little bit of formation of the galaxy in there. Let's go with our long exposure there. Let's get that started. Hopefully, this area of the sky is going to stay cloud free for right now. So I'm reluctant to say that I've imaged this galaxy before. If we have, it was like only one other time. So this galaxy can actually easily be seen using 10 by 50 binoculars. It's a large face-on galaxy and has some similarity to M33, which we have imaged before. And M33 does take up much more of the sensor than this galaxy looks like it's going to. So this galaxy is an outlying member of the M81 group of galaxies and is about 10 million light years distance. As of late 2004, 2 supernovae have been reported in NGC 2403. So it's among the more conspicuous northern objects with Charles Messier. He missed this when compiling his catalog. So thus its discovery was left to William Herschel in 1788. Alan Sandage detected Cepheid variables in NGC 2403 using the Hale telescope, making it the first galaxy beyond our local group to have Cepheids found in it. So hopefully the guiding is going to hold true, and we'll get an image of this galaxy. Right now, let's have a look at where that is on within Stellarium to kind of give you guys an idea of where we're looking at in the night sky here. You need to start satellite fishing now that skies are clearing. It's a hobby. That's cool. I think it's kind of cool when people catch tumbling satellites. So it's very evident that it's not a nice straight line that's going through. You can kind of see that little rolling, bouncing effect that the satellite has in an image there. So if you ever caught anything, I guess it would just be more space chunk at this point. It's kind of rolling through. All right, so NGC 2403. Alright, that does bear a fair resemblance to M33. So this is the galaxy we're going to attempt to image, as long as the sky is going to hold clear. So it's in this neck of the woods. Here is the Polaris, Ursa Minor, and this is where our galaxy is located. Let's see if I can get at least the meridian. That's what we want. There's 3 there. Alright, let's tick all 3. There we go. That's what I want to be able to see. It's just the that meridian line in there. There's where we're at. So yeah, we'll see how that image comes out there. So for guiding is holding fairly well. I fish for radio signals, beacons, and telemetry data. So is it just like active satellites, or do you kind of track like any kind of satellite that's up there? That's kind of cool. Actually, that's really cool. Can't downplay that one there. That is fairly interesting. So yeah, guys, welcome on into the stream. For those of you who are new, once again, my name is Tom. I am the Astro Canuck. And when the skies are clear, and they're kind of mildly clear tonight, we are taking live images of the night sky. And currently we are on a galaxy that is 10 million light years away. This is NGC 2403 that we're waiting to see pop out of there. This is our quick 10-second exposure of the image there. We're already starting to see some detail in the galactic structure, so I'll be interested to see just how well this one turns out. Active, mostly CubeSats. All right, that's cool. Pardon me. Where do you share your data anywhere at all, or just kind of have information on your findings? Lux, welcome back. All nice and relaxed, nice and fresh. The current target is NGC 2403. It's a galaxy in Camelopardalis, 10 million light years away, bearing apparently a striking resemblance to M33. Now, we have shot M33 many times in the past, and that's Orion. That's not M33. There you are. This is the triangular galaxy M33, which this other galaxy is being compared to. So M33 is just 2.5 million light years away, whereas the galaxy we're shooting right now is 10 million light years away. So it's just a little over 5 times the distance there. So structurally, it looks to be very, very similar. The galaxy we're looking at is probably only going to fill up about maybe this little section of the sensor. But that's also due to our focal length. We're at 980 millimeters with our telescope. It's an 8-inch aperture, so we have some nice light gathering capabilities on there. And it is a Ritchie Chrétien design. So with the whole design of the scope, there's only 2 elements between the night sky and our camera sensor. So we're minimizing how much. We're minimizing any impact of light transmission to be obscured by several elements. Like if you're shooting with a camera lens, there are many more glass elements that light has to go through before it reaches your sensor, and that way you're kind of left out to you're sorry, not left out. You're exposed to chromatic aberration and a lot of other kind of poor alignments of the lenses that are just not going to leave you with like the best image. Not at the moment. Still learning and need a better equipment such as a tracking rig for your antenna. Well, no, definitely. I definitely want to hear to know more about that because that sounds really, really interesting. By the way, I was scared to death earlier because a right ascension motor was normally doing its job tracking and suddenly went warp mode and started spinning very fast and noisy. I thought it died. No. But now it's fine. I don't know why I did it. Oof. Well, hopefully that that isn't anything too serious, and it's just maybe a bit of an anomaly. Wombler, how are you doing? Do I have any images of M104? Wish my scope was big enough for that one. M104, I don't believe. I believe we've. The Sombrero Galaxy. No, we have not. That target is. That is very low on the horizon for me. And something like that would probably be available briefly in the southeast area at about 2:30 in the morning. I will be keeping my eye out for that because it is kind of the time to shoot the Sombrero, or at least try to get a glimpse of it. I have yet to actually image that one at all myself. I've hoped for it, but just the position of the scope in my back garden, it's not always, it's not always the best. I mean, we do have. I got trees and houses over to the right in our view here. So that does take up or it does kind of cut off a fair amount of the night sky for me. Largely, I'm kind of looking out to the east, and even to get above the roof line that we see here, objects need to be about 36 degrees above the horizon. But we have imaged some other galaxies that are kind of similar to the Sombrero. We did get the Needle Galaxy a couple weeks ago now. That's always a nice looking edge-on galaxy. That was about a week and a half ago. The motor sound, it was like a ticking clock and just started doing a nuke bomb ticking. Maybe did like a piece of debris kind of get in there maybe. And it, with its movement, it was able to get itself out of the way there. Yeah, so we've shot the Needle Galaxy, which is similar in kind of that shape and structure to the Sombrero. Again, that was another interesting target. Not the Needle Galaxy itself notwithstanding, but again, all these little fuzzies surrounding the area are really, really cool to see. With those galaxies being millions of light years farther. Like this galaxy right here itself is about 72,000 light years in diameter, but it's also 310 million light years away. So that's what I always enjoy about catching images with the scope. So yeah, that's about 100. That galaxy is about 100 times farther away than the Needle Galaxy. I've got about the same issues with my garden. Only a short window with Orion. Edge-ons are my favorite type of galaxy. Just waiting for a chance to actually image them myself. Well, do you have any other images that you've shot as well? Feel free to join our Discord and drop any images on there. Or if you have a Instagram channel or Twitter. Always happy to discover new people doing astrophotography. Everybody's going to have a bit of a different take on things there. There you go. There is our our Discord channel. Happy to have you on in there with us. So yeah, I have very limited time with Orion as well, and that was earlier on tonight. We took full advantage of it because Orion is just amazing, and I'm always going to go back to these images of Orion because they don't disappoint, even with a satellite blazing through our image there. It's just a wonderful sight to see, and I enjoy it immensely. Let's see, how's our guiding and everything going? Oh, excellent! The image is complete. There you go. There you go. NGC 2403, a barred spiral galaxy in Camelopardalis. And that's not too bad for how crummy the weather looks out there. Just tested one 30-second shot. It even reveals the Running Man dust. Excellent! We went for the Running Man a while back. Not the best. We need to take more time on that target. But it was just a quick shot. We were going through the trees. I wasn't expecting anything fantastic there. But this galaxy we're looking at right now, I mean, there is some cloud cover that is affecting things. And yeah, I mean, that's not too bad. Now, galaxies can be tricky. I am using a broadband filter, so we are getting a fair bit of light transmission coming through. Usually when we use our narrowband filter, we are limited to seeing just more of the nebulae within these galaxies. So to kind of see more of the shape and structure is a little more beneficial than that there. Yeah, that's 600 seconds. I generally will do a 10-minute exposure to try to get as much data as possible. Some objects will go for 16 minutes. The longest we've done was 33 minutes on a single exposure, and there was some significant movement in the scope, but it was still a good one to try out there. This galaxy is 10 million light years away. So it's just a little over 5 times the distance of the Triangulum galaxy, which its shape and structure is kind of just being compared to there. So what else do we have in this shot here? Just one of the rare ones where there aren't many other galaxies in this shot. What do we have here? There's a couple that are just out of frame. Bean! Hello, Bean. How are you doing? Good to see you on back here tonight. How have you been? How's your evening going? Or your afternoon? So it says this. You can see this galaxy with binoculars as well. So it's, with a 5-second exposure, I can see. You can be able to kind of pick it up as a pardon me, as a faint smudgy in your field of view, and it does look very similar to M33. It is compared, at least in this little write up there. It does have a lot of comparisons to the Triangulum galaxy. It's going fine. Just played a bit of Battlefield. What did I play? Battlefield 1? That's the one. I don't know. I played one of the Battlefields on Xbox One. We're doing all right. It's we're kind of waiting for some clouds to maybe clear out there. We can see a little bit of a break kind of coming through. We're seeing a little more of the night sky. So hopefully those are going to clear up on us there, and we'll kind of play it by ear how things are going to go. 2 late nights in a row is, it's all right. Tomorrow's Friday. You get that Friday feeling. and it's not going to be too much of an issue. Pat Benatar. What did I say? Now you're making me think of Guitar Hero. A little bit of an obscure reference there. Been super clear where I am for about a week. Only downside is that that it's minus 40. Would you say it's too cold for equipment? There's a chance that any oil and grease might start to be a bit of an issue for things there. But also clear for about a week. A week? You like some weird kind of flex you got going on here. In Edmonton. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. You're gonna get cold there. James Vade, how you doing? Just got back from Border 2 Skies. Posted a single 60-second exposure in Instagram. Pretty happy with it. Doing more processing while listening right now. Awesome. Excellent. Also, Portal 2. Come on. You guys are just rubbing it in. Not Instagram, Discord. Alright, cool. Rhino, how you doing? How's it going tonight? Yeah, I think minus 40. Man, that's... Like I said, the coldest I've really done any imaging in was minus 25, but that was also just on a... That was just the camera on a stationary tripod. So it was more of just dealing with the cold weather there. You're doing good? Excellent. Good to hear that. Good to see you in here tonight. That's cool. That's just, James, you said it's a 60-second exposure there. That is really, really cool. What's our temperature? What am I sitting at there? We are minus... Well, it's only minus 1. We're getting warmer. We're getting a bloody heat wave coming through now. Yeah, see the power of of almost no light pollution. All right, it feels like minus 7 right now. I'm actually probably going to turn my heater on in a bit there. Yeah, but that is nice for a short 60-second exposure. That is cool. So yeah, if you guys do have images you want to share in the Discord, always happy to see any kind of images, and also hearing the story behind your image, because there's more than just I snapped a picture. There's the effort that you made to frame your target and where you had to go to to kind of get anything. Like say if you're going into like a Portal 2 area, it's always important to kind of get that story behind an image there, because you just get that little bit more of a connection. And that's what I try to want to do with you guys here. While we are, I have everything kind of set up here. I just feel that maybe you guys are a little more closer to the images that we're taking, because you're sitting through the anticipation the same time as I am. we're watching the scope slew to the positions there, so hopefully you guys are getting a little more of a connection with what we're shooting as well. It was about -5 in the desert when you took that. Cold camping was worth it. Rokinon is it's f2. Yes, a fast lens is always good as well. I mean, you're just like piling on all the cheat codes for imaging there. For me, my Bortle sky is 5. At least that's what it's classed as with the Clear Outside app. And as always, I am hesitant to say that it is always a 5 with all the changes in the lights. We kind of have a little more brightness than usual. Hyperwork. How did that image turn out? It turned out lovely. It was fantastic. It is this here. Yeah. Satellite photobombing notwithstanding, it was a wonderful shot of Orion that we got there. We actually did a live image of it as well. We pretty much kind of used the makeshift video mode on here, and looked at the core as with the like half-second exposures. Yeah, the satellite stopped in to say hello. I'm going to ruin your photo. Yeah, damn Elon. You're in a Bortle 8. Luckily, the city dome is towards the west. The east is relatively dark. Well, at least that's a bit of an advantage. I was kind of thinking that with the installation of new lights around here, that there was going to be a much bigger problem that I was dealing with. I was contemplating getting a monochrome camera and basically just shooting narrowband, but just the well, look at tonight how much of how little of a clear sky that we've been working with here. And if I was to start trying to get an RGB image together, I would be very reticent on trying to get a long exposure. At least with a monochrome camera, you're kind of capturing every photon, every area of the sensor is collecting all their images there. But still, it's the time available. I want to be able to get a color image. If we had a black and white image of Orion, as nice as it would look, but just to be able to kind of to see the colors in this nebula is really cool, and that's what I want to be able to show you guys. Hyperwork being next to Oslo, so there's no real chance of seeing stars in full. I mean, I always hear jokes about people saying, you barely see the full moon in how much light pollution they have. And it can feel that way, especially if you're in like a busy city. There's a handful of stars that you can kind of see kind of shining through. I'd always thought the Orion constellation was just the 5 stars. That was all there was that's all I was kind of looking out for in the night sky. I came from a Bortle 8 area, and that's kind of where I'm going to end up in for a little while when once the move occurs. But again, I'll keep you guys posted on when there will be a slight break in the stream schedule. But I'll try to keep that to a minimum, and if possible, I will even I'll try to build up a library of new images to process, and that way I'll still be able to kind of get a makeshift stream rolling. It might be mildly downgraded depending on what equipment I have available, but to at least get something going is what I'm trying to maintain the stream as long as possible, because I know I will have to be in quarantine for a while, just being able to continue on the stream. That's what I want to do. I enjoy doing this very much. Enjoy having you guys in here with me, and also just you guys having your own conversations within the chat. I love that as well. That you guys have the these other side conversations going on. It's fantastic. Standalone Evil. Hello. Welcome on into the observatory. How you doing tonight?
Let's give him a warm welcome because his whole career depends on this next important message. Well, I've been thinking...
We're all good. We are good here. Right, I was rambling on. I missed some stuff in the chat here. Borderlight being nuts, you don't have the kind of certain gear. The color camera is still better than a mono, in my opinion. I like the color camera because we're able to see more. Well, not more. We're able to get everything in color. Because as beautiful as a black and white image can look with the contrast, it's there's something to be said about seeing in color right away. Being further north, you do see the aurora on the regular. That's always cool. I've seen the Aurora Borealis once. That was when I was in like the northern territories of Canada, and even then it was still kind of they weren't very bright. It wasn't very active, but there was still that nice hint of green in the night sky. So it was really cool to see. Actually, I say the night sky. It was probably about like 3 in the afternoon because we were pretty much in perpetual dark when I was up there. And it's also kind of weird being at those latitudes when it is pretty much perpetual daylight, when the sun doesn't really get much lower than a couple of degrees above the horizon. So that was a kind of weird experience as well. I would like to spend a few days in the perpetual darkness just to like run a rig non-stop. That would be fun. That would be really fun. Gears are turning. Who knows? Imagine 4 months of just Bortle 1. That would be bananas. Although polar alignment would be, we pretty much be having the scope pointed straight up there. The sun just hovering just above the horizon at 2 in the morning. Yeah, it is weird not having that dark sky. It is a weird sensation. Am I always on target when using GoTo, or I have to search around a bit sometimes? It depends. It depends on the target. Because we're at 980 millimeters in focal length, and the targets that are in the ASI Air app, they don't always frame up that well. We did the Rosette Nebula last night, and usually this was how oops. Oh no. The Rosette Nebula was framed like this last night, or you don't want to display. There we go. This was how the Rosette was framed last night. Still using the same target as I did in the past, which I was expecting to be like right on the center of the Rosette. We don't do flats here. Also, these are just single exposures, so there's no chance to kind of have any flats together. I don't know with the Pro if there's a way to kind of preload flats on there for your images, but we'll deal with the gradients of the street lights kind of blaring through there. So yeah, this was the framing last night. It changed up a little bit. Usually, when we do go over to the Rosette Nebula, it frames up dead center, unless I do choose a different area. We'll get the Rosette Nebula like that. That's also shooting it in narrowband as well, so there's a little more detail showing up in this image rather than the previous one, which was shot in broadband. So yeah, that's the what the framing is usually like. Because there was that update, I'm not sure just how much anything is going to be changing there, so there may be some adjustments to certain targets. But most of the time, with the plate solving, it'll center the object that we're looking at fairly well, unless it's like a much larger nebula than what our focal length is allowing. And then it's going to kind of pick that certain area. You got to move it around a little bit and just be familiar with the star patterns in the area, especially if it's a diffuse and faint nebula. You just aren't always able to get everything in view there. All right, let's have a look at the sky. We have our previous guns. Let me make sure we save this. Actually, guiding is still working out really well. So, to the north, it is it's not too bad. So we're going to pick another target out there. Getting some feedback on my first real pick of Orion I put in the Discord. Yes, 2 seconds. Let's find other people who are doing astrophotography. Take a look in the Discord. I'm going to pick another target while we have some time here. Let's see what is kind of south. Actually, maybe up towards the zenith. What do we got here? Probably going straight up is going to be the best option at the moment. Where are we pointing? That is north. All right, let's give a shot on NGC 1893, the tadpoles, and see if we can get anything on there. Probably have to do a bit of a meridian flip. And we'll just see what the sky looks like in that direction there. We'll see how this frames up as well, if it's any different. 1893. There was one night I was going for the Flaming Star Nebula, which is IC 405. And for some reason I kept typing in NGC 405. And it just kept going in like the wrong direction. I'm thinking, everything's all mucked up. What is going on? And yeah, it turned out I kept searching for the wrong one there. All right, let's see if we have some luck with this target here. Posted one of my satellite fishing images in Discord. All right, cool. We'll jump into Discord in just a second here. Once we see how this target is shaping up. All right, that's good that we can kind of see a star in our camera view right now. That looks like it is possibly Procyon that we're looking at. All right, let's see where we're at. Okay. Let's get on a start to guide on. All right, cool. We have skies are looking a little better now. How many euros should I anticipate for a decent guide scope plus camera? I am using a Skywatcher 50 ED Evo Star with a ZWO ASI 120mm. I want to say that combined, it was close to about maybe 280, 300 pounds for those two. But you can, even with there's even a smaller, like a 30 millimeter ZWO guide scope that's much more lightweight. It's a little more on the lower price point there, but there's been some good reviews on it. Astrophotography, who's been on the channel, has been in chat a few times. He did a review on the 120mm Mini along with that ZWO guide scope, and he had some great results with it. It comes highly recommended. I do value his opinion on products. Actually, this ASI 533 that we're using was his demo camera that I managed to pick up afterwards. So yeah, there's also been an improvement with the Skywatcher 52 ED, where it has a different, it's got a dovetail mounting plate with it now, or a bar, pardon me. Alright, let's do one more exposure, make sure we are on there, and the next plan of attack is going to be a look on the Discord, and while this image is processing, I think I'm going to do, how you doing there? Guiding looks to be alright. So, I'm going to take a long exposure on this target. If guiding is going to get back on board here. Why is it going so wonky? Where is the declination going? Why is the declination? Come on back. Alright, yeah, it seems to be alright. Seems to be going alright. Let's go with that. Let's get the... Oh, that's why. We're doing 4-second exposures. Let's go back to 3. Is that alright? No, forget it. Let's go back to 4-second exposures. Well, that started to improve it once I moved back to 3. Let's chance it. Let's go with it. Let's get that rolling there. We're going to get that image going. Let's have a look at... my apologies. I haven't looked at chat in a little bit there. Alright, Wombler, your image of Orion. Yeah, that's pretty damn good. And what are you saying? You're in Portal 8? Yeah, no, that's an awesome image. I don't know what you're being very modest. That is really nice. Again, you're capturing some of that fainter nebulosity between the Running Man and Orion, which sometimes often gets missed out on some images there. Full Mine, hello. How you doing? Good to see you on in here. How have you been? How's it been going? Your birthday is in April. Let's just say the bank account won't be satisfied with what I plan to buy myself as a present. What are you thinking on? We're doing good. It seems the skies are improving a little bit here, so we are imaging an area of nebulosity that we have shot in the past, but we are aiming to get some interesting details. So this is the image as a false color from the National Oceanic Association as a weather satellite. That's really cool. So that's the... You capture this via a SDR antenna you made from coat hangers and PVC pipe. Alright, that is really, really cool. That's much cooler than I imagined of what you did. Yeah, that's pretty darn cool there. You're so tired. Well, sit back, relax, hang out with us, chill. We got we're gonna take a quick break in a few minutes here, or about a minute or so. It's gonna be a surprise, but probably a new DSLR, a Canon RA. That's the thought on everybody's mind. Yeah, well, good to have you on here, Full Mind. Right, so I'm just checking up on the chat there. The satellite's transmitting continuously at a regular interval. I just want the satellite to pass overhead, receive the data, and run that data through open source software, and that creates the image. That's really, really cool. That is some cool stuff there. Alright, I'm going to take while we have our image rolling for the tadpoles. Yeah, we have, it's been quite a cool amount of people hanging out in here tonight. And again, those of you who are new to the channel, welcome on in. My name is Tom, I am the Astro Canuck. And I'm going to take a quick coffee break and also empty the coffee pot. I also have audio beacons of a train of CubeSats, Doppler shift included. Oh, excellent. 100 points until 5K. Excellent. It's Thursday, so usually I was going to have TGIF available only on Fridays, but it's close enough to Friday now. Wouldn't hold it against you there. Using drizzle, a good idea. There are instances when you are better off using drizzle. I can't remember the formula for that. I have not used drizzle myself. I think it's more if you have a is it more if you have like a lower quality image or a smaller pixel scale or larger pixel? I can't remember what it is. I remember there was a time when it's better to drizzle than when not to drizzle. I saw it somewhere. I think it was with in the instructions with Deep Sky Stacker that there was something about that in there. Oh, I can't recall what it was. If you're undersampling, all right, cool. All right, I'm going to take a 3-ish minute break, and that's just to refill the coffee. Because don't look at my dirty mug. Refill the coffee, and so empty the reservoir. And maybe think about some kind of food product to eat as well. So yeah, we will go over to the BRB screen, and I will be right back. We are currently imaging the tadpoles in the constellation of Auriga, and that is a 16-minute exposure, and everything is looking really, really good right now, so I'm excited to see how this one's going to turn out. Stick around, we'll be back for more astrophotography excitement. Don't touch that dial, folks. We'll be right back after a word from these sponsors. Actually, maybe we'll do a... Yeah, I'm going to also run a quick 90-second ad break, because that eliminates any commercials for anybody coming in. Because there's not much else going on at the moment. Yes, I'll be right back in a hot second here. There we go. These are long drawn out BRBs. I could have been back by now if I would shut up. right. All good now. Welcome on back. How you guys doing? Alright, we have a little bit of a star loss at the moment. I did take a peek outside, and overall, the sky should be alright. We look like we've lost our guide star. Why'd you lose the guide star? Is this... Can we switch a star? Is it too much to ask? Alright, I did take a peek out there and it wasn't looking too bad. We do have a little bit of cloud kind of rolling through there. But hey, it's alright. We'll get by. We'll get the image will kind of come through there for us. Hopefully. You can see some movement in this image, I know it now. But yes, welcome on back. Good to see you guys in here. I am Tom, I am the Astro Canuck, and looks like the weather is hopefully going to be improving for the next little while there. We'll see how that goes. Or not. Like I said, it's always it can be a crapshoot with the weather. So we got some clouds. We got clouds. We got my neighbor's exhaust going off there. We are kind of shooting up towards the southeast area. So we're kind of aiming pretty high towards the zenith right now. All right, what did I miss in chat? You guys are fairly quiet here. So Lux, you look for a good DSLR with a good lens, or a semi-good DSLR with an excellent lens, or a full modded body only. That is the true question. Yeah, I mean getting a better quality lens is, I would say, you go for that. Because even the camera that I was using, the DSLR, it's a Canon T5i. It's an older camera, but it still did the job. We're still able to get some images coming out of that there. For a living, I am a graphic designer, so I do spend a lot of my time in front of the computer already, which is why I probably should take more frequent breaks during a stream, just to to step away from the screen as well. Orion update. I think this is the best Orion of 2021, despite the scope issue that you didn't collimate it. We've like totally lost the guide star. With like under 2 minutes, this is... You're more of a fan of refractors. I like refractors as well. I did choose to get this reflector telescope mainly because of just the price point for it. It was a used scope, but it's in fantastic condition, and also to say that I have a mini Hubble telescope is kind of cool. Is a little cool to say. Oh my God! Right at the end here, these clouds. Are absolutely ruining it. Well, we'll see how this image turns out. I mean, the preview image was alright. Yeah, the efficiency of a Newtonian as well is better, because you are kind of getting more scope for your money. Whereas if you're going to get like a wide aperture refractor, you're shelling out like thousands, tens of thousands almost for some of them. Vaporize the clouds with laser beams. Yes, that would be ideal. All right, well, let's see how this image turned out. See if we had any. There's going to be problems. There's going to be issues with the image. All right, yeah. Disperse the clouds. All right, surprisingly, the stars are well, get a little movement there. There's a small bit of movement. We can still see a bit of the tadpoles in there. You need food. I am both delighted and hungry that the clouds have cleared. All right, so we have imaged the tadpoles before in narrowband, and now we're in, well. You can okay. Here's another thing of the whole idea of the filter, of a filter that doesn't have any tape over it, with the way how the crop this clip filter is, that you can see like the overall shape, and it's not exactly squared up either with the sensor. So we do have this vignetting. If I can eliminate that vignetting, then we can still have a nice even, well, fairly even image kind of coming through there. But yeah, no, it's getting an image of the tadpoles. You just barely see the the namesake of this nebula over here. It's on a 2-inch filter, but again, it is from the where is it? The astronomic clip filter. So yeah, the filter, well, right below myself here. That's what it looks. It's designed to be like right up to the camera sensor, because the filter I'm using, it's farther away. We're seeing the that squared off area, which really should be open because there is still more filter around there. So that's the one that I'm. This is the CLS. The one I'm using is the XT clip filter, which is a little more of a thinner glass on there, which is much more fragile as well, which I discovered. There's a tiny crack on there, but it doesn't affect things too much. Actually, the crack doesn't affect it at all. It doesn't even touch the sensor area. But it was just a bit of a freak out when that happened. I'm thinking, oh god, I've spent all this money on it, I've ruined it, and yeah, it still does the trick. So yeah, so I've learned that the tadpoles is not a fantastic target to be imaging in broadband, and well, short of maybe getting some data for some more better star color in the image. Like I said, we've shot the tadpoles before, and we've had a better result with the narrowband filter. Let's see if I can find our narrowband image of the tadpoles to kind of give you guys a comparing contrast to how much better it appears. There we go. So here's the tadpoles in narrowband, where you can see these areas of nebulosity, versus tonight's shot, where it's flipped over right now because we're on the other side of the meridian. But there is kind of that open void. There's the tadpoles there, and it's not the best target for broadband, that's fine. We'll give it a shot and see how it was. I was kind of hoping that the longer exposure time was going to give us a bit of a better image, and not entirely. And more clouds. This might be a losing battle overall tonight. Yeah, because looking out the bathroom window, things look a little more promising. But weather just doesn't want to cooperate with us tonight. Let's see. Guess where they're going to. If it's still going to be at like 11 o'clock, I don't know. We'll keep going or what? Just because it's annoying, and all these clouds are rolling in, and yeah, it's still showing clear at 11. But exactly how clear? It's 9, 10. Yeah, the forecast is changing again, and now there's no longer any clear skies showing for 11 o'clock. Bummer. Well, these things happen. At least we did get enough of a fair amount of time for imaging. You know, unexpectedly, we still got 3 hours in with some astrophotography, so that's all right. I'm not too bummed about that. What prompted me to get started with streaming? Who did I get inspiration from? My inspiration is Econ Greg. He does this as well. He's got a couple of scopes and in his back garden in the United States, and he actually has one that is a user controlled scope as well. That they just pick different objects to look at and take the images. And while he does his main imaging on another scope there, and so he'll do daytime astronomy as well. He'll look at the sun in hydrogen alpha, and yeah, just the story that he told about just being able to share the night sky with people and just kind of playing around on Twitch to kind of pass the time. Essentially, he's a professor, and there's not much that he really doesn't do with astrophotography. They have discovered many supernovas to their credit for what they do on his channel. So just kind of knowing that this option is available, because the first time I looked through a telescope, I wanted to share that image with as many people as possible. So I quickly moved away from visual astronomy into astrophotography, and I think there's just that different kind of connection that this offers with people about seeing how these images come through. That they're not always not like really, really pretty targets that you see on magazines on Instagram. That there's this raw kind of view to the night sky. All right, Kevlar, you gonna take off? All right, no worries. Lovely invoices to do before work tomorrow. Catch you Saturday, hopefully. All right, no worries. We will see you on Saturday. I'll find another image to process. There's tons kind of kicking around on here, so we'll process those, and we'll see you on Saturday. Have a good evening. Enjoy your invoices. and we'll catch you soon. Any good bright targets I should switch to after Orion tonight? What section? What area of the sky do you have accessible again? You can dig it. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean that's what I like to do on here. And the what I've kind of done on this channel is there's more image processing, whereas what Greg does on his channel, he does a lot of live astronomy, and that's his bag. That's what he does on there. And just what I wanted to kind of do to add my own little twist on, not twist, but just my own take on this, is just to be able to show you guys how an image gets processed from almost start to finish, essentially. So here we are, kind of what we would do to capture the images, and when we do the processing, we'll stack some images the odd time, show you guys how it goes, and just kind of get a whole process to see how we kind of get a pretty image. And whether or not my images turn out to be really, really good is dependent on just the data that I have. Some of them are multiple hour sets, and some of them are just trying to get any kind of data whatsoever to put an image together. And it always comes out a little different as well. Like, it's never the same image processed twice, because there's always going to be just a little different area that I'm going to tweak with the process, kind of pick a different area to balance the color with. And sometimes you end up with some fairly interesting images that come through on the other end there. But I also don't take as long as I usually do for editing an image, because we only have I only take like a few hours with the stream. Whereas if I'm editing an image, I will sometimes start over and over until I can just work out those details and finesse everything just right with the image. Whereas with being on stream, I'll ramble on about things and I'll get distracted, and we'll have some good side conversations. Everything but low west. You did the rosette, so go for what target would be interesting to image. Are you able to get the flaming star, perhaps? I say flaming star if you can have better luck on the tadpoles than I did. Or possibly Bodes in the Cigar Galaxy could be an option. Yeah, there's very little getting through there. That's a 4-second exposure on the guide camera, and it's barely picking up that bright star there. Alright, well, I'm going to take a few minutes to find them, and I don't have to go to yet. Alright, no worries. Alright, it is evident that these skies are not going to clear up, so I gotta park the scope. And I don't want to be caught out like last night, where we had snow come in really, really quick. And while it's not forecast at the moment, I do not want to get any extra debris in the scope itself there. So that is parked up. We don't have any snow forecast. What is the rest of the week looking like? Friday morning, Saturday morning. No, Saturday is looking to be our rainy day astronomy. That'll be the regular thing. Tomorrow, I think I will. Depends on what we're going to do tomorrow. If we are going to run a stream or not. There are a few additions, a few issues I still want to try to suss out and make sure that we don't have any further problems. I think there's still a bit of audio issues. I am using the Kinect as my microphone right now. That is also the basis of the kind of upcoming channel port rewards that I'm going to be working on there. And right now, for just at 10 bits right now, it'll activate the camera in the infrared, and the rest of those channel point rewards will just be channel point rewards. They won't be for bits. But because I am using the Kinect, it's a little bit more of a bit of an equipment cost. Just trying to at a cheaper price right now until I can make sure that everything is sorted out. I won't be changing that low point reward. My CPU is going to die after stacking tonight. Well, you know, if it's going to go with a hell of an image coming up there, right? So yes, I think I'm going to. I'll wrap things up, and if I don't stream tomorrow night, we'll be doing it on Saturday night. We'll be doing a rainy day astronomy, and maybe revisit the California Nebula. Might have a look at that target again. I think that was a fairly good data set that I had on that. I think it was about 14 hours worth of exposures that I took on the California Nebula, and maybe try to do what I can to tease out that galaxy in the background there, and we'll see how that one turns out. So for now, we'll find someone to raid. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. This is more of an impromptu stream, and bearing with while we're waiting for some clouds to possibly clear out there. Tons of new followers to the channel. You guys are absolutely fantastic. We broke the 500 follower barrier, and you know, I didn't know when we were going to be reaching at that point there. So it's encouraging to me that we're doing something really fun on here, doing something really interesting, and it's good to see new faces showing up, and it's amazing to see new faces coming back and becoming familiar faces. I say faces, you know, screen names, but hey, it's cool to see you guys in here. Wombler, thank you so much. The images as well, the images you guys are sharing, they're fantastic. You know, whether you take like a really grainy image of the moon with your mobile phone and just get something there, that's fantastic. You know, there's really no bad Astro image. Itachi, hello, how are you doing? Welcome on in. Itachi D Zerif. How's it going? Welcome on in. So yeah, let's check out someone who we're going to pass you guys over to. I think let's go to. What are you guys up for? Some art, some gaming. All right, here's someone who has greatly improved their stream from like the first time I watched them like a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to send you guys over to Bubbaroo. He does a lot of workout streams, but he does gaming as well, and he works hard to make his stream a lot more interesting. He's picked up some tips from Putzi, and yeah, it's interesting to watch what he does there. And also he has a restaurant that has some delicious looking treats that unfortunately they don't deliver overseas. So if you are in the United States, you could probably get some interesting pastries from Bubbaroo. So those who are subscribers, you can use this raid message. Those who are not subscribed to the channel, that is all right. I have got you covered with this raid message as well. So apologies that it is a little bit of a shorter stream tonight, especially with the live astrophotography aspect of it there. But yeah, have a very good evening for the rest of you guys. We'll be back on Saturday for some rainy day astronomy. We're going to send you guys over to Bubbaroo. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Again, Within a Foot, thank you so much for the gifted subs to the channel. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for the lurks. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I cannot say enough good things about this community that has been built, and you guys are really, really special. I will post updates on Discord. Any changes will be on Twitter, and any cool images, I got to put something up on Instagram. I haven't posted there for a while. But we will see you next time. I have been Tom. I am the Astro Canuck. I'm not here to change the world. I'm here to share the universe. Have a very good evening, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Astro, hello. Hello. How was your stream, sir? Thank you for the raid. Welcome. Was honestly not great. Could have been better. I just feel so tired today. I don't know why. But other than that, it was fine. Just trying to finish all the games that I've been too lazy to finish. Kinda, yeah. It's back here. Nothing. Water levels are rough. You've got about 8. True. What I really miss are oh Jesus. I really miss point